7th on the grid for the world champion.
Who can tame MotoGP's ultimate Quattro, their first ever Premier Class world champion. Still plenty to fight for though, the team championship up for grabs. Yamaha.
25 laps coming up around this 4.5 kilometre roller. It's underway. Not a great start from Pecco Bagnaia. Miller immediately capitalises and goes through. Miller leads into turn 1.
Yeah, not the launch that Bagnaia wanted, but it looks like he's immediately fought back to the line, but he leads through turn 3.
Joan Mir immediately up the inside of Martin into turn 3, the Suzuki man.
Zarco or Martin in that first sector. We've got a yellow flag early on here in the second sector.
It's twice in the space of 2 weeks, unfortunately, for the Tech 3 rider. Here comes Joan Mir having a look immediately up the inside. That was lovely. Through
the second sector, he's nearly half a second ahead of the former world champion Mir already.
Yeah, brilliant start then. It wasn't great turn 1.
Hasn't been great either for the world champion. There he is, Fabio Quartararo, started P7. He's lost from a career best 8th on the grid. Likewise, Iker Lecuona, who's had a really strong start from 10th. He was already up inside that tap,
so a lot of places made up. He's getting buoyed on by the home fans.
Well, he had to make those elbows sharp and use them as well. First lap though for Pecco Bagnaia, not the greatest launches, but he leads from Joan Mir. Miller there in third.
Turn 1, and they've lost ground. That allows Johan Zarco through.
Aleix Espargaro's got in really, really hot there. Oliveira now, what a start to this home Grand Prix for him. He's up 7 places to 10th.
Brilliant, brilliant. And he means business, Miguel. The race winner here, of course, last year, Binder, his teammate, has also made progress. He's up quite a few.
Last place.
0.4 of a second the lead for Pecco Bagnaia, their number 63, ahead of Joan.
To break away early on here, Miller has fallen nearly 0.6 of a second behind Joan Mir there in third place. It's been a superb first couple of laps as well for Alex Marquez. Credit to him. He said he could, true to his word, the Spaniard, Moto2 and Moto3 world champion in the past, 5th place.
Dropping down the hill around turn Vera, just a couple of places back as we cross the line. Mir's doing very well here to get his claws into Pecco Bagnaia.
17 of the championship, the penultimate round of the championship, and the man who won the title last year has still not led a lap about the challenge, the threat of Pecco Bagnaia directly ahead of him. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix, first sub 140, then from
and Jorge Martin.
Yeah, the problem is Jack Miller and Jorge Martin are going to be so difficult. Marquez has got a bit of a conundrum here. Quattararo's recovered after not a sluggish start, but not the best.
The rookie, how long can he last fitness-wise? Just behind him, Alex Marquez. We're on board with Miller now, looking back.
Bigger, unfortunately, for the Australian. It's now up to nearly 0.8 of a second now into this final sector.
13 into 14. And now just clipping the curve on the exit there with
some tips to Bagnaia and Mir about how they could better or run a better line through that final corner. Now then Mir, he's down the scary plunge downhill into the first corner. At the moment, Jack Miller, he's got a lot of company people trying to pick their way through. Now then Alex Marquez up the inside of Martin into turn 3.
Oh, brilliant as well. Retaliating on Alex Marquez down into turn 5, but he's wide.
Yeah, he's going to run in wide. Marquez should.
Well, this is close into turn 7, and Martin gives way. No surprise given what happened there to Martin. Corner turn 9.
That little exchange there between Martin and Marquez has certainly made life a little. That little joust between the two Spaniards behind him means that Miller's now 7/10 clear of Alex.
Around turn 13, there is Jorge Martin just up ahead of him. We're going to get a good view here of how much he closes around turn 15. He's got good acceleration as well, but he just could do nothing about the top speed. Oh, but the rocket ship underneath him powers him to the fastest lap of the race.
Absolutely nothing in terms of lap times between the two. Martin.
Around turn 3, on board with the leader, climbing uphill into turn 4. Bagnaia, there's Miller, and now Alex Marquez in 4th. This is the best trim we've seen Alex Marquez in all season long, and that is quite a nervy character at the best of times.
I've got some bad news for you, Lucho. We've still got 21 laps to go here for you to watch your podium so brilliantly.
Over the crest then, Joan Mir so often has to come to the tyres just to get himself into podium contention.
Yeah, it's always a bit of a stressful mission on a Sunday, isn't it? Bagnaia has not been able to get away.
Further behind these guys, a couple of riders who are going pretty well. Miguel quicker than Lecuona and Pol Espargaro. I've had a Rins as well. He's starting to get into it on the middle of that 4th row in 11th. Alex Rins on the previous lap was one of only 4 men in the 39s. Yeah, best race lap set by Rins last year as we round turn 2 and look back to Mir at turn 3.
Marquez was a couple of tenths quicker than Jack Miller in that battle for 3rd place. That's why at the moment Jorge Marquez's place.
Yeah, he's not able to get quite on terms there with Alex Marquez or Jorge
Zarco. He's 1.1 seconds further back on the second of the Pramac Ducatis. And Lecuona having a strong ride. Can row in 6th. He's dropped back down to 9th. Oliveira still rounding out the top 10.
It's worth remembering, actually, I think he was on a medium, so this bodes well.
Yeah, and that was a shock and a surprise, because traditionally in these cooler winds blowing around this Portimao circuit, rear tyre temperature has been an issue for Honda for the hard rear tyre, and that influenced Pol Espargaro's decision as well. But unfortunately for Pol Espargaro, it hasn't quite worked.
We're on board here with Miguel Oliveira in 10th. He's looking up at Pol Espargaro on the approach to turn 1. Who's that guy?
Yeah, that's out in the car park. He's nearly on one of the golf resorts surrounding this Algarve international circuit there, isn't he? So
down into turn 1. Has been successful, but he does go wide. He can't make it stick, and through goes Alex Marquez
on the podium. Alex Marquez versus Jack Miller. I feel like I've been put in a time machine. First podium in 10 races.
Oh, there's a tiny mistake there from Alex Marquez. He just about hold for the podium, aren't they?
You've got to give enormous credit as well to the man in 5th place, Jorge Martin, keeping Quartararo and Zarco at bay behind him.
The problem that Alex Marquez has got here is just going to keep happening, because whilst Miller is a couple of tenths behind Alex Marquez, it's going to take some energy and some great defensive work here from Alex Marquez if he's to hold on.
0.3 seconds behind your race leader Bagnaia, but a couple of seconds and more ahead of this pair. The crest, he's anxious to use that top speed advantage to try and get his hooks into Marquez. Not close enough.
Through, as you would expect on Fabio Quartararo. He's finding life incredibly frustrating behind the two Ducatis, and now they have fancy his chances of a P5 if he can get through.
Epic performance this though by Martin.
That scared the life out of him, you know, earlier in April. I mean, that was almost a career-ending crash.
He really come here to a track which left him so battered and bruised. What a difference a week makes. Podium in stunning fashion in just his second start in MotoGP, and then it all came crashing back down to earth.
13, no. He stays put for now. Just a little bit further up the road. Here we go again, the final turn. Let's see how he's getting on. These guys have just cut into that. Jack Miller's not going to be far away from Alex Marquez into turn 1. In fact, you can see
pressed out of turn number 15, and he just moved alongside in the slipstream by Jorge Martin. Line there. Jorge Martin didn't appreciate that one, did he? All's fair in love and war, Jorge.
Juan Mir's through goes Jack Miller. They're side by side here. The Ducati man is back in 3rd.
Is that a pivotal moment?
He's gone down. He very rarely makes blunders. That's the first crash of the year.
The first time we've seen a successful 2021 World Championship campaign, but the start of his reign as Malik's Rins crash when he was fighting Quartararo here 7 months ago.
Just slightly offline.
Yeah, the king of MotoGP.
That's costly in terms of the team championship
really
as well. Jack Miller went through on Alex Marquez and has made the breakaway.
It looks like he's broken half a second. That little mistake made by Alex Marquez. Confirmation there, first DNF in round 17 of the championship.
Fastest man on the circuit, and it's Giannini and Oliveira.
Can't keep qualifying now on the 4th row. Just asked Juan brilliantly on that front row start. Now then, what's that gap between these two? Alex Marquez.
Shrug of the shoulders here from Fabio Quartararo as he makes his way back into the Yamaha garage. Some thoughts on the crash for
Fabio wants some more speed, some top speed, you know, because as soon as he can't start take risks, just like Mir, you know, we've seen it a lot from Mir this year, take risks in, and he's back to where he started, you know. Frustration, I'm sure he's gonna, I'm sure that's what's happening.
Alex Marquez closes once more on Jack Miller.
Yeah, just when we thought Miller had broken Alex Marquez, back at the start of this fantastic title-winning season for Fabio Quartararo. But it's exactly why he has been crowned a world champion with 2 races to go. This man, though, has been operating on a different consistency and speed from Pecco Bagnaia. That is just awesome. That's why he's been 40 flat. Terrible stuff.
I know it's all ifs and buts, Matt, but I mean, if this goes the way it's looking like it's going to go, because we'd have been potentially going all the way down to Valencia with Quartararo and Bagnaia. I mean, it is ifs and buts, and it doesn't matter. It's done. Look
at Jack Miller's front tyre there on that Ducati into turn 13. It was hopping and skipping and bouncing around.
Oh,
somebody's gone down.
Someone has, but no one from the top 3 or 4. It's Miguel. Miguel Oliveira has crashed out of 10th place, the Portuguese rider, to end what has been...
Riders down, yeah, instant at turn 13 and 2 KTMs on the deck.
Alex Marquez's first podium of the year, and Martin is... Zarco is closing on them.
He might be picking up the pieces here, John.
In Portugal, as potentially as a result of the incident between Miguel Oliveira, Ag has come out here in Portugal, and we are way past the distance in terms of this being declared, and Bagnaia taking third place. It will go back a lap, but Miller was still third at that point, but congratulations to them.
Yeah, Yamaha denied the triple crown. Ducati retained the constructor battle, but you can see Oliveira fans. Now then, let's see what happens here. This is at turn 13, Lecuona and Miguel Oliveira.
Looks like he could crash, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that was his Lecuona's fault. You can see the frustration. What that has done is actually pushed Brad Binder up into 10th place.
Go down into pit lane, I'm sure.
Please give us your thoughts on that amazing ride from Pico.
I'm really honored. Congratulations, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations to Gigi Delinia and to Pekka Bagnaia. Just a simply perfect weekend for the Italian.
Yeah, awesome job by Pekka by the final podium place. With winding up to be quite a spectacle.
That's good to see that he's been out in there as well, but good to see that he's sat up. All riders are conscious, that's the most important thing. I agree, Matt, yes, Alex Marquez time. Pleased for Jack Miller, because I think having started on the front row so many times of late,
Well, the best possible news is that Lecuona and Oliveira, as we saw there, they are both big today. And what a way to bounce back from the bitter disappointment of losing the championship to that crash of that result.
either way, Alex Marquez, that's the best we've seen of him by some.
MotoGP yesterday set himself up for this podium charge. That was the best we've seen by a mile for, wasn't it, last October. Great job by that man as well. No wonder he's getting huge congratulations from him. Oliveira has been able to clamber to the bringing from the Lecuona.
Let's pop down and hear from a man I'm sure is gutted in one way.
What a ride from Alex Marquez, so close to the podium.
I'm very happy. We are so far without achieving any particular result, and finally we show the down and the full gas for the next race as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's set up points for the LCR, the Mitsubishi team.
Well, it was the Ducati factory 1-2 on the grid. A good weekend for the Ducati Novo team, and they are the constructor champions, retaining that crown. And 22 career was done and dusted. He will be at the fallout of his early split from the factory.